Pro-CVT effortlessly monitors temperature, heart rate, respiration rate, and cardiac vagal tone, known as CVT. Cardiac vagal tone is a clinically validated measure which ProBiometrics is bringing to the commercial market for the first time. This presentation, therefore, will give a brief description of what cardiac vagal tone actually is and describe 3 key areas in which it can provide great insights. Cardiac vagal tone is a picture of the body's autonomic nervous system activity, specifically a measure of the parasympathetic branch. Your autonomic nervous system runs everything your body needs to do to keep you healthy and alive without conscious awareness. For example, your heart rate, breathing rate, body temperature, eye pupil dilation, and digestion are all processes optimized via the autonomic nervous system in the background without you thinking about it. The autonomic nervous system divides into 2 branches, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The sympathetic nervous system side is largely responsible for providing energy, creating activity, and ramping up your physiology to deal with a threat or current stress. For this reason, it is often referred to as the fight or flight system. On the other side is the parasympathetic system, which is concerned with recovery and resting, rebuilding, stimulating your immune system, and reducing inflammation in the body to help you deal with the stress you face in life. The vagus nerve leaves the brainstem, travels down into the thoracic cavity and into the abdominal cavity, and connects to every vital organ that keeps you alive. It comprises 90% of the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and repair branch of the autonomic nervous system. 80% of the vagus nerve fibers are sensory, and it plays a critical role in providing feedback to your brain about the state of play within your body. While the vagus nerve innervates with the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, small intestine, large intestine, gallbladder and pancreas, it is the connection with the heart where the vagal signal is tonic, providing a constant signal of varying intensities affecting the heart rate and contractile force, which can be measured. Changes in these tonic signals allow us to quantify and witness sensitive changes within the body to a wide range of stimuli. Pro-CVT can quantify the vagus nerve by assessing its impact and level of control over the heart. Your heart is autorhythmic, typically set to run at a tempo of about 110 beats per minute. This makes sense from an evolutionary point of view, as there is no delay in providing energy and the required high output in an emergency fight or flight situation. However, to conserve energy and promote restoration at every opportunity, the brain uses the vagus nerve to slow the heart rate down from its natural tempo of 110 to the minimum required for the given demands. Should the brain detect any level of threat or require an increase in energy or change in blood pressure, it can reduce the vagal control on the heart, releasing the brake and allowing the heart rate to increase. This constant fluctuation of the vagal control of the heart is what Pro-CVT detects. Baroreceptors monitor the level of blood volume pumped out from every contraction of the heart. When combined with the brain's neuroceptive assessment of the internal and external environment, the vagus nerve can control the heart's output with a high degree of sensitivity to meet the immediate and expected needs. Pro-CVT detects this fine level of control from a high-resolution ECG. Everyone is familiar with a classic ECG trace as portrayed in television programs and medical dramas. These represent the minute changes in the electrical activity caused by the initiation and contraction of a heartbeat. The normal heartbeat starts here at the SA node and travels like a wave across the heart, causing the various chambers to contract, pumping blood through the system. The vagus innervates here at the SA node, flooding it with acetylcholine, which in turn delays the output of the SA node and slows the heart rate. The amount of acetylcholine released controls the degree of delay. As you can imagine, these chemical changes result in millisecond variations between each heartbeat, which is why it is so important when trying to determine the strength of this vagal signal. The RR peaks are measured precisely using a high-resolution ECG. It is also why any other measure of heart rate variability, which uses lower-resolution technology, will result in poor quality data capture and weak assumptions based on that poor data. Pro-CVT converts this complex biological process into a simple number on a linear scale. Starting at 0, this represents no vagal activity and the brake being completely released, allowing the heart to run at full capacity. The body would be in full flight or fight mode, highly stressed. The further around the scale you move to the right, the more rest and recovery you're experiencing, increasing homeostatic drive and opportunity for recovery. How far around the scale you can go is dependent on your cardiac fitness. The scale correlates well with the fitness level of the individual. The normal distribution of scores is between 2 and 17, with an average of 9.5 for the general population. CVT is a good measure of health and fitness, contrasting the level of cardiac fitness with the degrees of systemic stress and other health conditions experienced by an individual. For example, the Olympic athletes we measure, when healthy, possess a CVT at rest in the 30s, even up to the 40s and 50s. A CVT of 73 is the highest recorded to date. This is because the size and cardiac output of your heart increases when you train to such a level, effectively creating a more powerful pump, and so requiring more vagal control to slow it down, resulting in higher CVT. Unlike conventional HRV measures, CVT is a linear scale and is a universal measure across all mammals. Individual CVT scores are comparable to normal values and are directly related to known physiological processes. By tracking and understanding your normal range of nightly CVT, it allows you to spot early warning signs of increased stress and decreasing fitness or poor health. These signs would show up as a decrease in CVT values during sleep. We can track CVT at any time of the day or night. However, to get a clear, uninterrupted sight into the body's recovery processes and capacity, monitoring throughout the night provides the best possible information, as you will see in the following slides. Here you can see the charts of two individuals, subject 1 in the blue and subject 2 in the green. Straight away, the different recovery profiles are apparent. A higher profile represents an increase in parasympathetic drive and an increased state of relaxation, immediately providing insights into the effectiveness and timing of the different physiological recovery processes at play. It shows that sleep isn't a passive process or universally effective for everyone. Subject 1 is often groggy in the morning, relying on an alarm to wake. If given the opportunity, he would stay asleep for much longer, whereas subject 2 typically wakes early before the alarm, feeling refreshed and ready to go. The information provided by ProCVT can help optimize pre-sleep routines, ensuring you get the quality of sleep needed by recommending the lifestyle adjustments needed. This chart represents 7 full nights' sleep from one individual, showing the peaks and troughs of each recovery cycle the body goes through. Significantly, if you look at the recording on Friday night, you can see the dramatic impact for this individual of too much alcohol consumption. On Friday, the peak CVT score was as low as the minimum score on many of the other nights, representing a dramatic impact on the body's ability to recover, potentially affecting how you function the following day. ProCVT enables a far higher level of insight when compared to a standard sleep tracker or wearable technology. Shown here, the top 3 charts are recorded from a Garmin watch. A top-of-the-range wearable capable of tracking your heart rate all day long, as well as other physiological metrics, including sleep using PPG and motion sensor technology. The Garmin shows 1 hour and 42 minutes of deep sleep on Friday, which could be misinterpreted as good quality deep sleep. On Saturday and Sunday night, the device is suggesting that there has only been 30 or 40 minutes of deep sleep. In contrast, looking at the CVT graph, you get a much better understanding that on Friday night there is a deficient level of vagal activity, and therefore poor recovery. And on the Saturday and Sunday night, it shows a return to normal high peaks of recovery, compared to the Garmin sleep tracker, which is only showing 49 minutes of deep sleep. There are numerous studies highlighting the importance of deep sleep. For example, its associated links to preventing dementia or Alzheimer's, so this deeper level of insight is critical. You may also notice the inaccuracies of the Garmin watch, detecting sleep at 8:45 p.m. when the individual is simply stationary, watching TV. This demonstrates the current failings and limited level of details that wearables offer. By relying on actigraphy for sleep stage detection and PPG signals for pulse wave tracking, the current best-in-class still falls way short in providing reliable and useful metrics. CVT, captured via a high-resolution ECG, can show the precise peaks and troughs of the parasympathetic system, allowing us to quantify exactly the amount of restoration and recovery achieved. This chart represents what we call the fatigue or readiness score, summarising the impact of the previous day's stressful events combined with your ability to recover overnight into a single CVT score. The output is the average of a 5-minute period captured at your peak recovery pre-waking. Consistent long-term tracking allows the user to see the impact of daily events and life stresses. This subject is an elite athlete preparing for the World Championships. Every time he travelled to or from a training camp, there was a dramatic drop in his CVT, indicating the negative impact of travelling on his readiness to perform, providing the coaching teams with the useful information to plan training and travel plans to optimise his performance. Additionally, you can see the effects of different training methods, with the aerobic focus increasing his CVT as the heart becomes more efficient as expected. The more intensive strength and power work shows a decreasing trend due to the neurological stress. This allows coaches to see the impact of the training program in real time and to adjust to ensure the athlete is never pushed too far, minimizing the possibility of illness or injury. This level of insight can be automated by Pro CVT systems and delivered in a simple to understand format and language with intervention recommendations. This chart was recorded in real time, providing live biofeedback on the effects of different breathing techniques to enhance cardiac vagal tone, increasing parasympathetic drive to slow the heart rate via the vagal brake. This means more rest, repair and relaxation, and less stress. The brain is able to switch back from a reactionary flight and fight state to become more logical, calm and rational. Individualized breathing routines can be trained, ensuring you can take control of your autonomic nervous system when needed. This allows you to combat the potentially damaging effects of acute or chronic stress. While there are some common breathing techniques, each individual will have their unique breathing routines based on their cardiac fitness. A good principle to enhance vagal tone is to take a longer exhale than inhale. The reason for this is as you breathe in, your heart rate speeds up, and as you breathe out, your heart rate slows down. So by changing the length of your exhalation and inhalation, you can actually access the autonomic nervous system, influencing the balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic drives, shifting towards restoration and recovery. The first block in the diagram shows a 4-second inhale and a 6-second exhale rhythm. The individual doubles their level of cardiac vagal tone, immediately shifting CVT out of the stress zone and into recovery mode. In the next instance, using 4-second inhale and 4-second exhale, you can see the limited effect that it has had in boosting the CVT score. Finally, with the extended 26 seconds of exhalation, CVT surged up to between 18 or 19. With this level of vagal tone slowing heart rate, you know the brain and body are in a state of recovery, feeling safe and not requiring any additional resources or energy. As Pro CVT measures this effect in real time, the individual is able to tailor his breathing routine to maximize its effect. In summary, Pro CVT is a clinical measure of how your brain controls and optimizes physiology based on your body's internal feedback loops and changes in your external environment. These insights allow you to close the loop between the impact of the world around you and the effect on an individual's health and well-being. This presentation has touched upon 3 of the areas in which this insight can be highly beneficial: in the monitoring and improvement of sleep quality, the maximization of training and fitness regimes, and for health and well-being generally. With the addition of body temperature, respiration rate, ECG and heart rate, Pro CVT gives you a complete system for remote healthcare monitoring. For more information, please contact the ProBiometrics team using the details shown here.